HBO Max launching today. The streaming service is going to be facing some tough competition from the likes of Netflix, Disney Plus, and Peacock. After acquiring WarnerMedia in 2018, AT&T is betting big on their direct-to-consumer play. Joining us right now is Craig Moffett. He is senior analyst at MoffettNathanson. And Craig, we're going to be talking to John Stankey a little later this morning. What questions would you have for him?
Well, I guess there are a couple of things. Remember that AT&T's broad strategy here is to become a fully vertically integrated distributor of content that it creates and then distributes through its own networks or physical networks. The challenge for John, and he's been an architect of putting the pieces together, is that while you try to transform the business to a sort of next generation business, almost by definition, you are increasingly obsoleting the core businesses that generate the cash flow today. So DirecTV, for example, was originally conceived as it might be some kind of a transition to a digital strategy, but you have the reality of transitioning to digital sort of wrecks the DirecTV business. Now you've got the same challenge with HBO Max, which is you're creating this new platform. That's great. It's sort of the lifeboat, if you will, for the legacy business. But you have to recognize that the legacy business, therefore, is compromised by people leaving, cord cutting, and advertisers leaving, and that sort of thing. So how do you make that balance is going to be the challenge that John is going to have to struggle with going forward.
Hey, Craig, that sounds like the delicate balance that every single one of these companies is facing. I mean, as consumers change the way that they use media, the way that they go about things, I think every one of these companies is facing that same issue. How do you get from what has been a very profitable business to this new way of doing things that you have to put a lot of money and invest in, and we still haven't entirely figured out how to monetize it all?
That's exactly right. And, I think it was years ago that the expression analog dollars for digital pennies was coined. It's still right. And it's a real challenge because these new platforms don't monetize in the same way that the old platforms did. You'll never find another business that is as good as a business where everybody has to pay for it, whether they use it or not. Going forward, you're in a much more traditional type of business, which is if you want it, you pay for it. But that's a much more pedestrian business model.